Hello everybody, Parajucha here, and welcome back to more Danganronpa 2 Goodbye Despair. Last time we started the trial, and we got some details about, what's been going on, like, hey, the Grape Tower and the Grape House and the Strawberry House weren't two separate houses, but they were just one all stacked up on top of each other. So, yeah, there weren't two separate buildings, just one. And yeah, and found that some floors weren't really shown as what they depicted. So again, like strawberry floor was above grape house. So yeah, things were we found that out, but now we're about to try to figure out what is the ultimate weapon that killed Nekomaru. So let's go in here and see what's going on. So please don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's get right into it.
Huh? You still don't know what the ultimate weapon is yet? It's what I found at the Octagon, you know.
What is the Octagon? I haven't heard about that yet.
Oh my... I can't believe I have to explain that now. As long as you know what an Octagon means, you can solve this simple mystery easily.
What an octagon means? Well, it's a side shape, that's
I
octa
see.
means.
If I recall, an octagon is a shape with 8 sides, right?
Yes, congrats, Hajime, you know your shapes.
I didn't expect you to know that. For a substitute reserve course student, you're quite knowledgeable. I guess I should continue listening. Where is the place befitting of the name Octagon?
Place befitting the name Octagon. It's probably... Well, it's gonna have to be this place.
Crap!
I mean, the octagon is... Well, I want to say, like, it's the entire building, right? So...
Crap!
No. So... Like, the octagon will have to be outside of here, right?
Crap!
Okay, so we're looking at it like this, like, it takes place in the grape house, but we're not really in the grape house. I mean, the strawberry house. We're outside of it. So, like,
Here!
okay.
You're talking about the secret room surrounded by concrete in the depths of the final dead room.
Why is that place the Octagon?
You know how the 4-sided strawberry house is on top of the 6-sided grape house? If you cut a 4-sided shape out of a 6-sided one, you get 8 edges. It becomes an 8-sided shape.
We cut 4 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I guess.
That's basically the gist of it.
I thought he actually meant like an octagon, like, a stop sign is an octagon.
The true identity of the Octagon is that secret room in the depths of the final dead room. In actuality, that place contained various weapons.
Then the ultimate weapon was there too?
That's a little different. I learned the true identity of the ultimate weapon at the Octagon.
Learned?
The true identity of the ultimate weapon is the funhouse. Which means the killer used the building structure as their weapon and killed Nekomaru. Like me, the killer probably realized the secret of the funhouse from the scenery, and then thought of a way to kill making use of the building structure.
Okay.
The funhouse itself is the weapon, so they killed using the building structure?
That's why the killer tried to keep us from learning the mystery of the building. But more importantly, using the building itself as a weapon? Such a spectacular crime. It truly deserves to be called the ultimate weapon.
I got close with this laugh last time, right? The funhouse is the true identity of the ultimate weapon? What does this mean? How did the killer use that murder to murder Nekomaru? And who's the killer who did that? Oh, it's a to be continued suspension. Yeah. Man, that only lasted like 5 more minutes. I could fit that in last time. I didn't remember where the midpoint was.
Why, hello there. I thought a new bad word called mon ami. Huh? I can already tell I won't be pleased by this. Now let me say it right away. I'm already used to insult and slander. There's no way I'll get hurt by a mere word. Mon ami is a serious difficulty. That's much more straightforward than I expected. Stupidly, huh? That's not it. That's not it at all. Stupid, fat, and ugly. The perfect gesturing attack incorporating all 3 words would be stupidly. Huh? Hello? There's a fathead in there?
Wait, what? Yeah, it's literally right there. Stupid, fat, ugly, stupidly.
Okay, everyone, all together now. Mon ami is a serious stupidly.
Yeah, you're stupidly. Yeah, let's save here. Wait, did I not save?
Hello. I hope your day is well.
Hold on, mon ami. No, it's safe, yeah. Just like, wait, huh? Cause it's already hovering over the no and I thought press it.
I'm trying to force myself to be more energetic, or else my mental state won't be able to keep up. My heart's thumping like crazy. I might as well have a laid-back, so what attitude and go ahead with high energy.
In my mouth. I thought she said so fat and so fat attitude. Like what?
Yeehaw! But be careful that your batteries don't run out for various reasons. And just like I say each time, don't forget to save frequently.
Yeah, I just saved.
I never expected the funhouse itself to be the ultimate weapon. Oh well, let's just press on ahead.
Okay, yeah, whatever.
Is it really all right to accept a situation so easily?
I mean, that's Chiaki.
I mean, that's not what's important. The thing that's really important is
How the funhouse was used?
the killer who used the building structure. Like, who's
okay.
Mekomaru's murderer?
But is it really okay to believe the building is the weapon? Nagito said it, you know.
There's no way I'd lie at such an important moment. I don't want to die either.
What happened to the bastard who kept saying how much they didn't mind dying?
He's right. There was a time when I thought I could become a stepping stone for your hopes, but I will sincerely retract that remark.
Okay, cool.
Retract?
I'm disappointed too, you know. If this was a murder for the sake of hope, I'd happily sacrifice myself.
You say such falsehoods, per usual. There is no such thing as murder for the sake of hope. Murder is simply murder.
Murder, simply murder.
Forcibly sacrificing others for one's own desires. Even one as diabolical as I would avoid such actions.
I see.
It's fine. Let's just leave him alone and find out who killed Coach Nekomaru as fast as we can. Just so you know, it's not like I'm getting hungry or anything, you know.
Yeah, sure.
Akane, you were drooling waterfalls?
Don't go drooling water. Nigel, as usual, can't tell what he's thinking. I have no idea if he's serious or not.
Anyway, if the killer used the building's structure, why don't we think about how they used it?
Yeah, that's what I said.
How they killed Nekomaru.
It might be better if we clarify the cause of death first, don't you think?
Nekomaru's cause of death, huh? He was horribly damaged, as if he was beaten senselessly with a blunt object. But if he was beaten with a blunt object, it wouldn't be a kill that utilizes the building's structure. So, what was Nekomaru's cause of death that was also utilized the building structure? It's gonna be falling.
See. That's it. I think he might have died from falling.
Died from falling?
Yeah, die from falling.
If the funhouse's secret is that it's a structure where both towers and houses are vertically connected, then the killer made use of its height and caused Nekomaru to die from falling.
Are you saying they pushed him off? Where'd they push him off from?
He says about pushing.
That I don't know yet.
Don't just make things up when you don't know the method. Where in that building would you even be able to push someone off in the first place?
It might be possible in the tower. You could push him off the 4th floor when the elevator is on the 1st floor.
Did you forget how the elevator functions? When it's on the 1st floor, the door on the 4th floor won't open.
Saying he died from falling is truly incorrect. You should burn in the flames of hell.
But my gut is going crazy right now.
I mean, sometimes it's good to trust your gut, but you're also gonna have proof of that. Nekomaru died from falling. Where did the killer shove Nekomaru from? If I'm gonna reach the truth behind this incident, I need to solve that mystery next. Hey guys, sorry to interrupt this video real quick, but got new merch. Save the 7 shirts, sweatshirts, and hoodies are available right now at my shop. Links will be down in the description below. Get your hands on a shirt. Comes in multiple colors. And hopefully you guys can enjoy it. Feels really great. Feels really nice on the skin. And really hope you guys enjoyed. Now, back to the video. Okay, so how did Nekomaru fall? Is that the question? Goodnight button. Okay. Broken doorknob. Let's see here.
When the elevator is on the 1st floor, you can't go through the door on the 4th floor.
Yep.
It'd be impossible to shove off the victim from up there.
Then, how about this? After locking Nekomaru inside the elevator, they moved the elevator from the 4th floor to the 1st floor and made use of the drop.
Hold on, did you forget the elevator has a sensor? As long as there's a moving object inside,
Oh,
the
yeah.
door won't open. Which
It's
means the elevator wouldn't have moved either.
good night, bun. Yeah, that's
That
it.
must be the threshold of that elevator.
I need to make it clear so that they understand that Nekomaru fell to his death. Looks like it's all up to me. Okay, so the good night
When the
button.
elevator is on the 1st floor,
So
you can't go
use
through the
that
door on the
as
4th floor.
you can't move anyone when
It'd
there's
be impossible to shove
someone
off
in
the
there.
victim from up there.
But since
How about
someone
this?
used a good night button,
After
he
locking
won't be,
Nekomaru inside
active,
the
right?
elevator, they moved the elevator from the 4th floor to the and made use of the drop.
Hold on, did you forget the elevator has a sensor? As long as there's a moving object inside.
Nope.
No, that's wrong.
He was asleep. Somehow.
That sensor should only work if something is moving. If Nekomaru wasn't moving inside, the elevator sensor wouldn't have detected anything.
Could it be his sleep mode?
When Nekomaru's goodnight button is pressed, all of his functions shut down, and he enters sleep mode. If he's in sleep mode, the elevator sensor wouldn't have noticed him, right?
I see. So that's how...
However, even if they moved the elevator in that manner, Nekomaru would have just moved along with it. There would have been no drop for him to fall and die from, yes?
That's what I was about to explain before Kazuichi interrupted me.
Wait, what? Wait, when was she... When was she interrupted? Huh?
Silence, pest!
Now you're calling me a pest?
I wait to create the drop inside the elevator while Nekomaru is still in it. In fact, he seems to have an idea. But what way could that be? It's the wire, isn't it? Wrap the wire around, have him hanging, right? So wire, broken doorknob. It's one of those two.
If you arrange it a certain way, you can cause the drop within the elevator.
So you're telling us all to think about the arrangement, right?
That arrangement is... The hammer is suspicious.
Isn't it about time we went over the pillar again?
What about the oil on the floor?
The doorknob on the floor seems suspicious.
How about we all shut up and listen to what Chiaki has to say?
Silence, pest!
Don't be so cold.
Okay, so
What
we're
if I
supposed
start
to
to enjoy it?
absorb it. Absorb one of these things. Nekomaru's inside the elevator. How can you create a difference in elevation?
If you arrange it a certain way,
Like,
you can cause the drop
using
within
the
elevator.
wire, like, using the wire that he's being, yeah, his body and left leg were tied up with a metal wire. So, he was tied up while he's sleeping. Elevator moved. And then at some point, the weight of the, weight of Nekomaru was too much for the wire. Then he fell.
So you're telling us all to think about the arrangement, right?
That arrangement is... The hammer is suspicious.
Isn't it about time we went over the pillar again?
What about the oil on the floor?
Okay. Oh wait. I think
The
probably
doorknob on the floor seems suspicious.
doing
How about we
the
all shut up and listen to
cause
what
of death,
Chiaki has to say?
absorb that, and then hit
Silence, pest!
Akane's
Don't be so cold.
Akane's point, because
What
the
if I
pillar
start to
is
enjoy it?
one of the key things, because there was blood on it.
If you arrange it a certain way, you can cause the drop within the elevator.
So you're telling us all to think about the arrangement, right?
That arrangement is... The hammer is suspicious.
Isn't it about time we went over the pillar again?
No.
Crap!
Okay, then how about going for the
If
doorknob?
you arrange it a certain way, you can cause the drop within the elevator.
So you're telling us all to think about the arrangement.
That arrangement is... The hammer is
Or
suspicious.
Isn't it about time we went over the pillar again?
What about the oil on the floor?
The doorknob on the floor seems suspicious.
How about we all shut up and listen to what Chiaki...
Silence!
Don't. What if I start to enjoy it?
okay, let me try using.
If you arrange it a
Cause
certain
the
way,
drop.
you can cause the drop within the elevator.
So you're telling us all to think about the arrangement, right?
That arrangement... The hammer is suspicious.
Isn't it about time we went over the pillar again?
What about the oil on the floor?
The doorknob on the
Okay.
floor seems suspicious.
God dang it.
Crap!
Okay.
If you arrange it a certain way, you can cause the drop within the elevator.
So you're
Okay, so
telling
what
to
if I
think about the
absorb-
arrangement, right?
That arrangement is...
absorb the
hammer is
doorknob.
suspicious.
Isn't it about time we went over the...
What about the oil on the floor?
The doorknob on the floor seems suspicious.
How about we all shut up and
Okay,
listen
so
to
we
what
can
Chiaki has
absorb
to
that.
say?
Silence, pet.
Don't be. What if I start to enjoy it?
If you arrange it a certain way, you can cause the
Oh.
drop within the elevator.
Like, okay, so what I'm getting at, use the wire that's wrapped around Nekomaru, tie it to the door handle. Once the elevator is moved down, the weight of Nekomaru cause the doorknob to break, causing him to hit the pillar, causing his death. Right? So how am I supposed to put this together? Like, it's not that hard. Like, I know what needs to be done. I know where we have to go, but putting it together is my issue. So, and we have limited amount of life to go. So like, so we have to we have to absorb one of the answers and use it against another that we're agreeing with. Can't absorb the blue for some reason, so I'm using, the cause of, the death, whatever, for one of them. It's like we tried with both of them, but it didn't work. So, like,
So you're telling us all to think about the arrangement, right?
That arrangement is.
okay, so
The
like,
hammer is suspicious.
we tried wire with
Isn't it
Akane,
about time we went over the pillar again?
What
so
about the oil on the floor?
trying
The
wire
doorknob on the floor
with
seems
the
suspicious.
doorknob.
I agree with
Oh,
that.
there it is. Okay.
Didn't the doorknob have scrape marks on it?
Yes, yes it did.
That might have been where it got scraped by the wire.
Is that the same wire that was tied around Nekomaru?
The tip of that wire was tied into a loop. If the elevator moved while that loop part hung from the doorknob,
If they did something like that, he would have been suspended in midair. That's right. He was suspended in midair. Huh? The killer tied up Nekomaru with the wire while he was in sleep mode. Tied the tip of the wire into a knot and hung it on the doorknob to the 4th floor. With that, they moved the elevator from the 4th floor to the 1st floor of Grape Tower. And suspended Nekomaru in midair.
Bruh, died in his sleep. Man. Just like you wake up dead, it's just like, ugh.
That's right! He was so well hung! Kinda like...
Like me.
You better not finish that sentence.
the killer took advantage of the elevator's unique feature. Only the floor moves. By doing that, they created a drop so Nekomaru could fall to his death.
Too easy.
Yo, Kazuichi, what?
So what if they created a drop? There's no way you can make him fall and die with just that.
Yes, it can. He literally hit the pillow on the way down, causing his head to come off.
Why? If Nekomaru is suspended in midair like that, then how do you get him to fall? Because if he's suspended in midair, he won't die if he doesn't actually fall.
So, let's see here. The alarm clock timer, yeah. He woke up, he was struggling, fell, right?
Even if they suspended Nekomaru from a wire, how would they make him fall? There's no one in the tower to push him off.
Oh,
There's
wait, what?
no way they could do that.
Oh. I agree with Kazuichi's wondering. Seems certain. Okay.
Even if they suspended Nekomaru from a... How would they make him fall? There's no one in the tower to push him off. There's no way they could do that.
It doesn't mean someone had to push him off. It's possible that he fell on his own.
Yep.
What? Nekomaru fell on his own? Nekomaru should have still been in sleep mode, right?
There
Allow
we
me to
go.
cut through those words.
Nope, the timer went off.
What do you think would happen if Nekomaru woke up while he was suspended upside down in midair?
What are you saying? Like, how would he even wake up?
He has an alarm inside his body. As long as it was armed, it would have deactivated his sleep mode. Which means the killer set the alarm before they suspended Nekomaru.
If you woke up from an alarm and realized you were hanging upside down and had no clue why, if something like that happened to you, you would start panicking a lot, right? Instinctively, your body would start moving. Nekomaru probably did exactly that.
And then, in order to make him fall from the force he was generating, the wire was hung on the tip of the doorknob so it would easily slip off. In actuality, the scrape marks caused by the wire were near the tip of the doorknob, right?
I mean, it's in the middle.
But Nekomaru didn't fall because the wire came off, right?
Nope. Broke the handle.
He fell because the entire doorknob came off.
When Nekomaru awoke, he must have struggled much more than expected, which caused the doorknob to break off.
Was that unexpected for the killer too?
Well, that's probably it. If they knew it'd leave behind evidence like that, they would have at least tried to do something to cover it up.
The killer didn't expect the doorknob to come off. The reason that even happened was because... But... Ooh. That's really what it was. Nekomaru preemptively weakened the doorknob. And that's the clue Nekomaru left us to find. I mean, he didn't really leave that for us to find that that was just an accident, you know?
I see. So that's how Nekomaru fell to his death.
Do you finally understand now?
Yeah. It appears it's just as Miss Sonia said. I'm just a pest. No, I'm not just a pest. I'm a total fucking pig. Isn't that right, Miss Sonia? If I'm a fucking pig, you can say so.
No, I believe you gave your all.
Hey, why aren't you teasing me anymore?
Tease me, please! Tease!
This guy, he gets off on this.
So thanks to that alarm, Nekomaru ended up falling while he was still hanging upside down. That doesn't mean he just crashed straight into the floor. Of course, you know that too, right?
Doesn't mean Nekomaru crashed straight into the floor. The moment Nekomaru fell to the floor, the only thing I can think of that happened to him was... fly with the pillar.
I see!
It has his blood on
When
it.
Nekomaru fell to the floor, he ended up colliding with the pillar. Isn't that it?
Finally, the pillar!
So that's how the pillar shattered, and why oil was spilled all over the place.
See, I told you the pillar was the weapon. My gut was totally right.
Well, the pillar was a bonus. It's not even clear if the killer intended that, or if it was just a coincidence.
At this point, it is quite difficult to find a clue that will lead to the killer.
Then what about the alarm? I'm positive the alarm was set for 7:30 a.m. And if we map it out from there...
Hold on, baby gangsta.
Stop calling me baby gangsta!
What'd you just say? Did you say the alarm was set for 7:30 a.m.?
You didn't check it yourself? Nekomaru's alarm was set for 7:30 a.m.
Nah, that's impossible. 'Cause even though I slept in a little, I still got to the tower at 7 in the morning.
Now that you mention it, so did I. There was no way I could be late for Monokuma Tai Chi, so I left for Grape Tower before 7 a.m.
And if we found Nekomaru's body there, it would have been before the 7:30 a.m. alarm went off.
It appears yet another contradiction has been birthed. How were you able to discover Nekomaru died at 7:30 a.m. when you went to the tower at 7?
That's what I want to know!
Okay. Now, Mister, I don't understand. Seriously, it's one after another. So, Nekomaru died at 7. 7:30. Was... I understand it. But I can't choke up at a time like this. Just a little more, and I'll be able to reach the truth. Should definitely be a clue to breaking through this contradiction. Yeah, I know what it is. Remember what Nekomaru said about his radio clock?
We headed for Grape Tower.
Yeah,
Before
Nekomaru
7 a.m.,
said,
I'm certain.
it's
The alarm
always
inside
accurate.
Nekomaru's chest was set for 7:30 a.m.
Nekomaru died because of that alarm, right?
So if it's always
His time of death
accurate,
from the time the body was discovered.
what do you think
One of
about
those
if the
must
clock's in
be
the
an
area?
illusion.
The killer probably did some tampering. They probably messed with the clock inside Nekomaru's chest.
Nope.
That's gotta be it!
Nope. The radio clock is always correct. His clock is always correct. So if he's up, according to his clock, is 7:30. Remember what Fuyiko said that, when he looked at the clock at the time, it said it was like 5 o'clock, 5:30, something like that. So that means it was actually 7:30. The clocks were 2 hours behind. I need to crush one possibility at a time if I'm going to break through this contradiction. Yeah, so
We headed
Clocks
for
are-
Grape Tower.
clocks in the towers are 2
Before
hours
7
behind.
a.m., I am certain.
But the alarm inside Nekomaru's chest was set for 7:30 a.m.
So in actuality, the
Nekomaru
time
died because of that alarm, right?
was 9:30.
His time of death from the time the body was discovered. One of those must be an illusion.
The killer probably did some tampering. They probably messed with the clock inside Nekomaru's chest.
No. Get back. There we go.
No, that's wrong.
No, the clock inside his chest was a radio clock, so it would have been impossible to mess with.
So you're saying there's no way the killer could have tampered with the clock?
Maybe the clock Miss Sonia saw was the one that got tampered with.
The clock inside Grape House?
No, I checked all the clocks inside the funhouse.
Oh, that's what I asked you to do. So you really listened to me and checked all the clocks.
And because of that, I can confidently declare that all the clocks had the same time displayed.
What if all the clocks were wrong?
If there's no possibility that the time was tampered with, then we must doubt that human's testimony.
Please believe me, we are not lying.
Then maybe it's a misunderstanding?
I never misunderstand. I'll crush you into dog food.
Time relay contradiction. I don't think I should doubt the testimonies. I should doubt the clock. It's no mistake that something was done, but what was it? Perhaps we overlooked something. Maybe we're misunderstanding something. Think. If I focus and think, I should be able to find the answer to that mystery. Yeah, so... yeah. Definitely the clocks were messed with. The 2 hours behind the real time. So Nekomaru died, woke up at 7:30. It was 5:30 for everyone else. He died at what, the half an hour later? Oh, I forgot about that. I forgot the time Fuyiko said it was. But essentially, he died then, so it's like 2 hours behind. What did Hajime and the others misunderstand? The time in the building, yeah. So time in the building was wrong. Yeah, Nekomaru has the right time. So Monokuma messed up all the times in the buildings. And only had Nekomaru's time correct. Okay, question 2. Which clock was tampered with? No, the building's clocks. Not Nekomaru's. Nekomaru is correct. There we go. So now... is that it? Oh, only 2 questions. Oh, dude. Ooh, that was close. Okay. Going forward. Question 3. Which house had the wrong time? Both houses. Both houses were wrong. And, yep, there we go. So, the times in buildings were wrong. Both the buildings' clocks were tampered with. They both displayed the wrong time.
It's all coming together.
All right.
You said you checked all the clocks inside the building. Isn't that right, Fuyuhiko?
Yeah, none of the clocks had the wrong time.
But what if all those clocks have been messed with?
What? All the clocks?
So even if you checked all the clocks inside the building, there's no way you'd have noticed it.
I see. So the killer messed with the time inside the whole building by changing all the clocks.
And aren't there just 2 clocks, right?
So that's what it was. There's no way I would have noticed that.
This is truly fantastic!
Now's not the time to be pleased. More importantly, how much was the time off?
He's right. That's the main problem. I need to clarify by how much time was off after the killer messed with the clocks. That's definitely the next mystery. I'm going to reach the truth in one go. It's by 2 hours, right? He was up by 5:30 according to Fuyuhiko, but it was 7 for him. So, or 7:30 for him. Okay, so, Fuyuhiko's account, let's see here. Okay, so it was messed up by 2.5 hours, right? If he's up by 7:30.
If the time in the building was all messed up, then we can only rely on Nekomaru's radio clock.
The time of death was clearly 7:30 a.m.
So it was
is,
10
what time
o'clock
was 7:30?
for his death.
In our time.
Are there any clues that can be used to narrow that down? If only I heard the sound when he fell. It would have been a great clue.
Fuyuhiko's
Or
account.
his scream.
He's not the type to let out a scream.
If only Nekomaru's alarm was loud enough, we would have heard it too.
Uh,
Dude,
There's no point in saying that. If does not exist in this world.
What is it? What's with that post? But how much time did the killer adjust the time inside the building? How do I even figure that out?
If the time in the building was all messed up,
Okay, so
then we can only
Akane's
rely...
account. What was Akane's account? A rumbling noise by 5:30. Saw is walking towards the first floor by 5 o'clock. I feel like we have to use Fujiko's account, right? That makes the
And
most
Nekomaru's
sense.
radio clock.
The time of death was clearly 7:30 a.m.
Has to be
Problem
Fujiko's
is, what time
account.
would 7:30 be? In our time.
Are there any clues that can be used to narrow that down? If only I heard the sound when he fell.
No?
Damn it!
I mean,
If the time in the building was all messed up,
we heard.
then we
Technically,
can
they
only
heard
rely
him
on
fall
Nekomaru's radio clock.
The time of death
by the time they
was
left.
clearly 7:30 a.m.
The problem is, what time would 7:30 be? In our time.
Are there any clues that can be used to narrow that down? If only I heard the sound when he fell. It would have been a great clue.
Or his scream.
He's not the type to let out a scream.
If only Nekomaru's alarm was loud enough.
She heard a rumbling noise at 5:30. But that is... I wish there was more detail than just like, oh, she heard a rumbling noise at 5:30. Because that doesn't really add much compared to like, oh yeah, Fujiko saw him by 5 o'clock. Because she heard something by 5:30. I wish there was more details to add to that, because just like, and like when that was. Because I don't remember if she said she heard that today, or like during, the day he was murdered, or if that was the day before. But we heard that rumbling noise as well. So, I mean, it would have been 5:30. That would be the noise that he felt, right?
We would have heard it too.
There's no point in saying that. If does not exist in this world.
Okay, so
If the time
so
in the
yeah, it
building
would
was
still
all
be
messed
two
up,
hours.
then we can only rely on Nekomaru's radio clock.
The time of death was clearly 7:30 a.m.
So
The problem is, what time would 7:30 be? In our time.
so it
Are there
would
any
be
clues that can be
5:30.
used to narrow that down? If only I heard the sound when he fell.
There we
I
go.
agree with that.
Yeah.
That's right. We should have heard the sound he made when he fell. Wasn't it that rumbling noise?
It should be, right?
Rumbling?
I thought it was just an earthquake, so I went back to sleep. Was that the sound from when Nekomaru fell?
Well, a huge body fell from the 4th floor to the 1st, and the pillar fell with it. It's obvious we'd hear the impact sound.
We heard that noise too.
It was when we were gathered at the Strawberry House Lounge. What is it, Sonia?
Oh wait, hold on. I'm trying to remember it. So, so the alarm that was ringing in the lounge was the 5 o'clock sound. But when it was 5:30, that was when Nekomaru woke up and he started struggling and then he fell. Okay. I was like trying to remember because Rico said that he saw Nekomaru by 5 o'clock, right? Yeah. So, when did Nekomaru get his sleep mode button pressed? And 2, when did the killer was able to tie them all up in a 30-minute span, right? And also, how was Nekomaru awake by 5:30 when his alarm is supposed to be 7:30? You know? I'm confused on that part.
Oh, well. That sound everyone heard? I did not hear it at all.
Weren't you in the luxury room, right?
Huh?
You probably didn't hear it because you were sleeping.
I could not sleep at all. I was awake the whole night with hunger pangs.
Pangs or pains?
There's nothing to worry about. What's important is that rumbling noise anyway.
If we use that rumbling sound as a reference, we might be able to figure out how much our time was off.
I heard that sound probably around 5:30 in the morning.
Huh? You can tell?
I instantly woke up and left my room. And that's when I saw the clock in the lounge.
Excellent work, Akane!
That rumbling sound we heard at 5:30 a.m. It's like the answer to how much the time was off is literally right in front of me. By 2 hours.
I see!
Nekomaru's alarm went off at 7:30, and if we heard the sound of his impact at 5:30, that means our time was off by 2 hours.
2 hours? That much?
We were starving pretty badly. There's no way we would have noticed.
Plus, the funhouse has no windows. And there weren't any Monokuma announcements either.
However, for what reason did the killer alter our perception of time?
The reason is obvious. So they can lure out just Nekomaru.
Lure out only Nekomaru?
If you messed with the clocks and used a specific thing, you definitely get Nekomaru to the tower alone, right?
Specific thing?
From there, the killer's plan was a splendid success. That's all it means.
Besides messing with the time, the killer also used a specific thing. And they were trying to lure out only Nekomaru, and that specific thing is... Oh, Tai Chi.
I see!
That's it. The killer made use of the Monokuma Tai Chi activity in the morning.
So then Monokuma was a witness to it the whole time, right? Because if it's at 7:30, if it starts at 7, then Nekomaru and then Monokuma would have been there the whole time. But if Monokuma was using the clock time, then yes, Nekomaru would have been there 2 hours early.
How did they use it?
But also, I mean, no. If he woke up by like 7:30, his time, it would have been 5:30 for the rest of us. So yeah, he would have been there like an hour and a half early.
We were required to go to Grape Tower every morning at 7 a.m. for that activity, right? But if they mess with all the clocks inside the building, what would that do to us?
We wouldn't be able to attend on time, but that wouldn't affect Nekomaru. His radio clock had the exact time.
That's right. In doing so, the killer was able to lure him to the tower by himself at the precise time.
But then, since only Nekomaru was there, everyone else would have been punished, right? If, Nekomaru wasn't actually killed.
Then, when I witnessed Nekomaru early in the morning...
If I recall, you witnessed Nekomaru around 5 a.m. And if that time was also 2 hours off, it should have been 7 a.m. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, so he was awake by 7 a.m. So that means someone tampered with his clock for him to wake up again at 7:30.
At that time, he was heading over to Monokuma Tai Chi, right on schedule.
I see. Now that I think about it, I realize what Monokuma meant when he said those words.
Too early. He didn't even ask you yet.
Huh. Yeah, I didn't expect everyone to ditch Monokuma Tai Chi. But technically, the people in the other house were stuck there because the elevator couldn't move. So technically, we couldn't ditch it. They were stuck on the other side.
When you said everyone, you were including us, right?
Well, yeah.
We thought we came to the tower on time, but in truth, it was way past the meeting time.
Ah, jeez. That's, well, how should I put it? What was it? Tripping over a foot or something like that.
Are you talking about tripping over someone else's fault?
Wrong! Too bad.
Liar! I'm right!
That's not it. It's incorrect.
Then what is it?
That's definitely the correct answer. You always get so stubborn like this.
Let's just ignore the peanut gallery. Now that we've found out how the killer lured Nekomaru, the number of suspects has drastically decreased.
Huh?
Hey, why would that decrease the number of suspects? Don't be a friggin' liar!
You'll know I'm not lying when you listen to what Fuyuhiko's going to say next.
Huh? What the hell do you mean?
You witnessed Nekomaru going toward the tower. Did something else happen after that?
Are you talking about that alarm?
Alarm?
A little while after I witnessed Nekomaru, the clock in the Strawberry House lounge started going off. Plus, it was just before that rumbling sound occurred. That's it. So that's what it is. If Nekomaru died when the rumble happened, then whoever doesn't have an alibi at the time is the prime suspect.
Really? Was there anyone who didn't have an alibi at that time?
I remember now. The sound was so loud I couldn't help bolting from my room. But there was one guy who never left the lounge. We were both on the same floor. It's pretty weird that bastard never came out of his guest room.
Oh yeah, Nagito never left his room.
Which means that person does not have an alibi for when Nekomaru fell?
Who is it? Who's the bastard?
Whoever doesn't have an alibi for that time, right? Like, Naito's the only one who never went out of his room.
You're the only one! The one who wasn't there. It's you, right, Nagito?
That's right. Nagito wasn't there. It was just me, Gundam, and Fuyuhiko.
You didn't come out, even though the alarm was going off like crazy. You weren't in your room, were you?
If that's the case, where were you?
Please, say something!
If you don't hurry up and answer, I'm gonna suicide dive you!
If I may be frank,
No, you could be Nagito.
even if I wanted to go to the lounge, I couldn't.
You couldn't? What do you mean?
It's merely the foolish talk of the weak.
Not only did I not hear the alarm, I never even heard that rumbling sound.
He couldn't?
You're definitely fucking lying.
However, that is also true for me. It is obvious that I did not hear the alarm in Strawberry House. But I did not hear the rumbling sound either. Is that not strange? I mean, everyone else heard it.
Did Chiaki hear it? She also had the premium room, right? Oh.
To be honest, it's not just them. The same goes for me too.
Okay, so people who had the premium room could not hear what was going on. They had soundproof rooms. Huh?
I was in a pretty deep sleep, so I thought that's why I couldn't hear it, but it wasn't that. I probably couldn't hear it at all.
Couldn't hear it? What does that mean?
You still don't know. Think about what the three of us who didn't hear a sound have in common, and I'm sure you'll figure it out.
They all had the same rooms. The only people who didn't hear the rumbling noise were Nagito, Sonia, and Chiaki. The secret is what these three have in common. Could this also be the secret that points to the killer? So they had bedroom, is it? Is it unique? Nope. Okay, dream room? Something room. No. Deluxe? Is that what it is? The deluxe? Oh. Oh. Oh, dang, there was the E. No, wait. The deluxe, that X. Give me E. There we go. Oh, I need R. Go. Oop. Boom. Boom. Now we need an M. There we go. Deluxe room. Oh, S. Beep. There we go, deluxe rooms.
I got it!
Ew. That was close.
Nagito, Sonia, and Chiaki, the three of you were staying in deluxe rooms, right? If I recall, the deluxe rooms are...
Yep, it is soundproof. Soundproof. There we go.
The reason we could not hear the rumbling noise.
That's right. It was because the deluxe rooms have superior sound insulation. You actually noticed that. Nice catch, Hajime. Are you using your ultimate reserve corps student talent? Now then, you guys
He's
must
really teasing
understand
us with
by
that.
now, right?
Or taunting us.
True identity of Nekomaru's killer.
Oh, hold on a sec. Why does that lead to who the killer is?
Why? Well, that fact just now is a very important clue, and a decisive factor in identifying the killer.
Decisive factor?
Somehow, I feel like I understand what Nagito means. The killer among us. Among us. The killer who murdered Nekomaru. I know who it is. I know who is. Hi, Gundam.
You're the only one! Gundam, there's something I want to ask you.
Yes. Going silent.
When the alarm rang at the Strawberry House Lounge, you rushed over there too, right?
No, I just noticed. Look at the time, 5:30.
What's wrong with that?
Oh. Oh. Oh, I just realized. I totally forgot. Why did you rush over here? You know? Oh, well, first of all, tell us what room did you have?
If the bell of catastrophe rings throughout the night, it is the universe's providence to stop it.
Yeah. What room did you have again?
Why were you able to hear it?
Hear what?
I mean, you were also staying in a deluxe room, right? Nagito was staying in a deluxe room in the same house on the same floor, and he couldn't even hear it. So why were you able to hear that alarm?
Now that you mention it...
Gundam?
There is only one possibility. You weren't in your room at the time. That's why, even though you were staying in a deluxe room, you still went to the lounge. Am I right?
Gundam, you have some sort of explanation, right?
Gundam probably couldn't return to his room because of Fuyuhiko.
Me?
After you saw Nekomaru heading to the tower, you stayed at the lounge for a while. Am I correct? Until the moment that alarm started ringing, right? If you were in the lounge for that long, the killer who had left earlier obviously wouldn't be able to go back.
Even though Mekamaru's murder was a death trap that utilized the alarm in his chest, the killer still needed to prepare the murder in advance.
Like putting Nekomaru in sleep mode and tying him up with the wire.
In order to do that, the killer needed to be waiting for Nekomaru at the tower. Which means when Fuyuhiko witnessed Nekomaru, the killer was already at the tower.
And once they tried to go back, they couldn't because Fuyuhiko was at the lounge.
In their original plan, the killer should have returned to their room before the alarm in the lounge went off. And they were supposed to stay in their room. They weren't planning to come out and go to the lounge.
Which means they wouldn't have heard the alarm or the rumbling sound, thus proving they were in the room.
Got anything to say about that, Gundam?
Just like us.
The best case scenario would have been if those two in the lounge had gone to check the deluxe rooms. After all, if they personally saw the killer sleeping in their room, it gives the killer a stronger alibi. Unfortunately, they failed to secure that alibi.
Because I was in the lounge.
So the killer couldn't go back to their room, and ended up hearing the lounge's alarm.
Oh man. Gundam.
But why'd you come out? You should have hid till the excitement died down.
If Gundam tried to hide, and if those two went to his room to check on him, he would have been found out. That would have been the worst possible outcome. That's why he couldn't just stay hidden.
You know, he could just, went to the bathroom and just like, oh, I had to get up to use the bathroom. I didn't see Nekomaru and all that.
If those two had just checked the deluxe rooms as planned, that would have been ideal, but... How ironic. The moment Fuyuhiko set foot in the lounge, your plan was doomed.
Gundam? Please, can you at least say something?
Answer me this. Including myself in my 4 dark devas of destruction, how many ears do we possess?
Huh?
The answer is 10. That's right, I possess 10 ears. That means I have 5 times the hearing of a normal human. The soundproof system here may as well not exist.
What?
Is that your argument?
You bastard! Do you understand the situation you're in right now?
I don't think he does.
Do not panic. The truth shall now commence. At the time, I left my room to go to the bathroom. By coincidence, I heard the alarm. That's right. That's all it was. The world is always so simple.
Are you saying it was just a coincidence? Isn't that timing a little too perfect?
Also, not gonna lie, the horse looks like a nutsack. I just realized that now.
And yet, I'm being suspected by all of you. It seems it was actually horrible timing on my part.
I see. You're still holding out. Well, you don't have to admit it. We're going to decide who the killer is with the majority vote anyway. So, why don't we just go ahead and start voting? It's obvious that Gundam is the killer.
Hold on a sec.
You know, Hajime,
Oh no.
this class trial, this killing, it's merely the opening act, you know.
For what?
Hey! What do you mean the class trial is just the opening act?
Perhaps I should say, it's it's just a farce.
Excuse me?
Just a boring farce. So boring, so stressful. I'm so painfully bored that I might develop stomach ulcers. Seriously, let's just hurry up and finish this before I collapse from poor health.
Nagito, something definitely happened to you, didn't it? At some point during the investigation, your behavior became even weirder. What actually happened? Did you discover something?
Well, let's just leave that fun for later. And finish this opening act already.
Ah, you said opening act again!
Please hold on! We have yet to hear Gunnan's rebuttal!
But he's completely shut up. Perhaps he can't argue anymore.
Gundam!
I was simply at a loss for words after being dumbfounded by your pathetic assumption. In fact, I shall deny the very basis. Your assumption has been wrong since the beginning.
Really?
Since the beginning?
Based on your assumption, I hung Nekomaru from the 4th floor of the tower and made the floor descend to the 1st floor. From there, after returning to Strawberry House, I was present when the alarm at the lounge went off, correct? Although going to and fro is busy enough as it is, how would I be able to travel between both houses anyway?
I see. The contact elevator was broken.
But when was it broken, though?
As I recall, the killer tampered with the Grape House control panel, which shut down the elevator. Plus, the stopped elevator should have been facing the Grape House side. If so, the human who used the elevator would have left it at Grape House. For these reasons, it's an indisputable fact that the killer destroyed the elevator at Grape House.
And what's wrong with that?
If the elevator was broken at Grape House, you wouldn't be able to return to Strawberry House.
However, I was already at Strawberry House. I was present when the alarm in the lounge started ringing. Which means your assumption is clearly wrong.
Are you serious? And here I thought it's already been decided.
Have you learned your lesson, pitiful humans? You cannot overcome this contradiction.
That's wrong. When something is obviously wrong, that's when a contradiction is born. There's no such thing as a contradiction that can't be overcome. Okay, so... Contact elevators... Something with the contact elevator, right?
That elevator was the only means of travel between the two houses.
Oh, wait,
As long as that elevator was broken, your assumption collapses.
Plus, the elevator was broken at Grape House.
If the killer cannot return to Strawberry House,
Since I was at Strawberry House at that time, there's no question that the following crime is impossible.
It would have been different if they had an accomplice.
What if there was a secret passageway?
How much longer
There
do you
is
plan
a
to
secret
lecture me?
passage.
Why don't we stop this already?
A contradiction is when something is obviously wrong, It's not a contradiction I can't shoot through. I'm gonna find out what that is. For the sake of everyone's hope, I'll shoot through that contradiction.
That elevator was the only means of travel between the two houses.
Okay, so
As long as that
the only
elevator
means
was
of travel.
broken,
I think that is the contradiction.
your assumption collapses.
Because hey, Nagito
the elevator
was able to get to
broken
get
at
to here
Grape
without
House.
the elevator.
If the killer cannot return to Strawberry House,
Since I was at Strawberry House at that time, there's no question that the following crime is impossible.
It would have been different if they had an accomplice.
Or if there was a secret passageway.
How much longer do you plan to lecture me? Why don't we stop this already?
Secret passageway. So he has to use, because we learned from Nagito that there is a passage from Strawberry House to Grape House. So that means the vice versa has to be the same as well. To get from Grape House to Strawberry House without using the elevator. It has to be the passageway that we saw when we were playing as Nagito, right? It has to be, right? So we had to use
That
the secret
elevator
passageway,
was
right?
the only means of travel between the two houses.
Yeah, so we are
As
literally
long as that
contradicting
elevator was
his
broken.
own thing.
Your assumption collapses.
Plus, the elevator was broken at Grape House.
if the killer cannot return to Strawberry,
Since I was at Strawberry House at that time, there's no question that the following crime is impossible.
It would have been different if they had an accomplice.
Or if there was a secret passageway.
There
How
we
much
go.
longer do you plan to lecture me?
Secret passageway.
Why don't we stop this already?
So we use that on. Oh, there's no other way to get out of there. No, we got it. We got it right here.
That elevator was the only means of travel between the two houses.
Nope.
No, that's wrong. No, there should have been another way to move between the two houses without the elevator.
I mean, yeah, because whoever did the Found Dead room was able to use the quote ultimate weapon, and that's how he used, the robe to get and kill Nekomaru, and then use that secret passageway in the octagon to get back to to get back to the floor.
Such a method does not exist.
Then why don't we ask the person who actually used that method?
Nagito.
You're the only one! Nagito, you should know.
What are you talking about?
Oh, don't play coy with us. Come on, we know. You literally jumped up out of nowhere. You being there.
Don't play dumb. You appeared so suddenly that one time because you used that method, right?
Because I showed up.
There's a secret passage connecting the first floor of Strawberry House to the third floor of Grape House. Isn't that right?
Jeez. Once again, I let the reserve course show off. But you're right. There's a door on the floor of the octagon, which is on the first floor of Strawberry House. After I opened the door and went down, surprise, surprise! I ended up in the Monokuma archive, which is on the third floor of Grape House.
But where is that door, though? Like, is it like, do you just like come out of the ceiling, or do you like go through a passageway that gets into here?
Meaning the third floor and the fourth floor are actually connected.
Plus, once you've cleared the final dead room once, you can pass through it as many times as you want.
Oh. And also, I see like a mistake with this with this Nagito artwork, because there's literally a black speck like next to his head, where like near his hair, It's like, oh, I thought that was something on my like TV, but no, it is actually part of the game.
If they used that secret passage, they could have gone between the two houses as much as they wanted.
Infinity Unlimited Flame!
But Infinity
However,
Unlimited Flame.
What if the killer was unaware of the existence of the final dead room?
What do you mean the killer's unaware of the final dead room? We all know about the final dead room.
There's no way they didn't know.
That is merely an illusion you have fabricated from your own suspicion.
You literally were living in the same house where the final dead room is. So it is literally impossible for you to know about the final dead room.
If you value your life, you should stop with your scrutiny.
There's no way I can stop.
What did you say? Don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Alright, here we go. Okay, what should we be doing with one of these?
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
I was like so confused with the cuts.
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
Bruh. I'm so confused with the cuts. Like, if it was on, you know, like on the Vita, you know, I would have slashed, you know, each of the different places. But like with this is
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
there we go.
Back down!
Yeah, there we go.
I already proved a secret passage exists. The secret passage was at the Octagon.
Know the limits of your own reasoning. You say the killer went to the Octagon? Don't bark, you cur! If you don't at least pray to the key which dwells in the light!
Argument means try proving the evidence that the killer went to the Octagon, right? If that's the case, I should have to. Key which dwells in the light. That will break through the darkness.
Know the limits of your own reasoning. You say the killer went to the Octagon? Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blood, at least pray to the key which dwells in the light!
Okay, so it's not that. Okay.
Know the limits of your own reasoning. You say the killer went to the Octagon? Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blind confusion, at least pray to the key which dwells in the light!
Okay, yeah.
Know the limits of your own reasoning. You say the killer went to the Octagon? Don't bark, you cur!
What would it be?
If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blind confusion,
It should
at
be
least
the
pray
wire.
to the key which dwells in the light!
Right? Killer went to the Octagon. Out of all this stuff, what could have been used to prove he went to the Octagon?
Know the limits of your own reasoning. You
Good night,
say the
button.
killer
Chipped
went
over
to the Octagon?
killer.
Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom of blind confusion, at least pray to the key which dwells in the light!
So... Huh. Like, it has to be the wire, right?
Know the limits of your own reasoning! You say the killer
It's the
went to
wire.
octagon.
It has to be.
Don't bark, you cur! If you don't want to, at least pray to the key which dwells in the light.
I messed up. I messed up there.
Damn it!
Yeah.
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
Come on.
Even if the turbid box doesn't exist, you could travel through multiple planes, provided you use a spacious wormhole. However, how frail I say! Your decayed illusion. Shall I feed you to the progeny of vile deities?
I can't back down!
Okay. Okay, God press triangle. God press triangle. Don't
I
press
already
anything.
proved the secret passage exists. The secret passage was...
Know the limits of your own reasoning! You say the killer went to the octagon? Don't bark, you cur!
Okay, and then
If you don't want to drown in the maelstrom...
there we
Allow me
go.
to cut through those words.
There we go. I was hitting the sticks instead of pressing triangle. I was dumb.
The wire used to string up Nekomaru's body. The hammer that looked like the weapon, and the chain on the door in the tower. Those are all the items that weren't in Funhouse. Where did the killer obtain them?
The only place I can think of is the octagon. There were various weapons and tools there. I'm pretty sure I saw stuff like wires, hammers, and chains too.
Since those items were used in the crime, there's no doubt that the killer went to the octagon.
If that's the case, they obviously know about the secret passage too, right?
Hmm?
It seems this is the end. Normally, we'd end up listening to Hajime lecture us with a very long summary of the case.
We're not gonna be doing that.
But there's no reason to waste any more time on this opening act, so I'm going to end this right now.
Uh-oh, are we singing Nagito's point of view?
Hey, what are you...
First of all, by messing with all the clocks in the building, Gundam tried to lure only Nekomaru. The elevator was probably broken by that point. Thanks to that, Nekomaru wasn't able to go to Grape Tower, which was supposed to be the meetup point. So he tried going over to Strawberry Tower, just like we did when we found out the elevator was broken. Well, it's obvious he'd attempt that.
Okay, I'm not pressing
That
anything.
time,
It's just going
we
by
didn't know
itself.
the two towers were the exact same place. Also, the button in Strawberry Hall wasn't broken, so he was easily able to enter Strawberry Tower. But surprise! Gundam was waiting for Nekomaru's arrival.
Hold on. If Nekomaru didn't go to Strawberry Tower, what would the killer have done then?
Yeah, like
Their plan was a balancing act of uncertainties, but even if they failed, they probably wouldn't have minded. They can just greet everyone the next morning as if nothing happened, and come up with a different plan.
I mean, if we survived the day, because we still would have been starving.
And without such a risky plan, they wouldn't have been able to lure him at all.
I'm going to continue summarizing the case, okay? Through
Sure.
this, Gundam successfully lured Nekomaru to Strawberry Tower. There's no way he could fight head-on with the robotic Nekomaru, so by pressing the goodnight button, he rendered Nekomaru powerless without fighting him.
Oh. No.
Hold on! You... What did you just say? That I didn't battle?
So you fought him?
What's wrong with that?
Don't mess with me!
Oh.
Don't mess with me! I cannot ignore those words!
Right. The amount of force that this voice actor had to do. Don't mess with me! I cannot ignore these words.
Why are you angry all of a sudden?
You fools do not understand! You don't understand at all! Ha! You make me laugh! After all this time, you still don't understand anything at all!
I don't understand anything. What does that mean?
It appears I cannot finish just yet. Maybe I'm just a human destined for hell. However, I cannot finish just yet. I cannot finish!
You should go to a doctor for that.
What do you intend to do?
It's obvious! I'm going to destroy your illusory assumptions!
Are you saying you still have more? You still have room to argue?
Your words. You said I pressed Nekomaru's goodnight button. However, that button was on the back of Nekomaru's neck. To press it, I'd have to get behind him.
It's not easy to get the drop on Coach Nekomaru.
It's even more difficult if it's a one-on-one situation.
Just as I thought, truly frail. Succumbing so easily to this simple argument, it was just a mere illusion. If you want to set me up as the killer, at least surpass your own human limitations.
That's wrong, Gundam. You're the one who's wrong.
Such a wonderful line. However, I cannot say that I'm satisfied. Listen well. I shall teach you 2 tips for making someone admit their defeat. First, you must crush them with your own overwhelming power. And as for the other, you must provide a reason that will persuade that human. You have not fulfilled either of those yet.
I guess you finally don't want to admit it. Then, just as you requested, I will provide an argument that'll leave you no choice but to be persuaded. Alright. Oh, here we go.
I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! Show me the cadaver! I won't let you!
Oh,
For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire! Wither! Crushed as David prophesied! For the Tanaka Empire! I won't let you! For the Tanaka Empire!
come on.
Wither!
Go, go, go. go, go.
Crush
go,
as David
go,
prophesies!
go,
I
boom,
won't let
boom,
you!
Boom, boom, boom.
For the
boom,
Tanaka
boom,
Empire!
Boom, boom,
Wither.
boom, boom,
It's Nekomaru's back. Do you really
boom.
think I can
Poor
get behind him
Dark
so easily?
Davos.
This is the end.
Yeah, 1-on-1. No, it was a 5-on-1.
Even if you didn't get behind Nekomaru, you should have been able to press the button on the back of his neck. As long as you have the power of the hamsters you keep with you.
Oh?
Are you seriously saying he used his hamsters to press the button on the back of Nekomaru's neck?
I mean, have you not seen the power of those hamsters?
Of course, that'd be impossible for a normal hamster, but it would have been possible for Gundams. In fact, we saw that with our very own eyes, right?
Your hamsters can press buttons.
Now that you mention it, after Ibuki was killed in the music venue, one of Gundam's hamsters retrieved the piece of wallpaper from the baton lighting, right?
Yep.
Hey, with your friends and their exceptionally smart brains, it must have been possible to secretly get one of them behind Mekamaru and press the button on the back of his neck.
How about it, Gundam?
Not just myself, but you actually brought up how splendid my subordinates are. I have no recourse but to admit it.
Yeah, she did it.
Admit it? Did you say you admit it?
It appears I've obtained a one-way ticket to hell. Fine! Then you must trample me underfoot and advance. Victory can only be built upon a foundation of corpses. You cannot find peace without sacrifice anywhere. Now, trample this life. Trample it as though it were mere trash on the side of the road. Pull the curtain strings of this worthless performance with your own two hands.
Hey guys, this episode is sponsored by Dubby. Dubby is a clean energy drink that's made to give you focus with no crash, jitters, or inks like other energy drinks. I just got myself the Dubby sample pack, which comes with this little tumbler, and also comes with 4 flavor packs. Got the Peach and Beach, or Beach and Peach. Comes with the Dub Squat, Sludge, my man, Sludge. I'm reading it backwards. Then we got the Dragonade. I should probably look at it first, then do a thing. And then the Galaxy Grenade. So we're gonna try one of these today, and I'll tell you how I honestly think about it. Okay, so out of the 4 here, let's try the let's try with the Galaxy Grenade. Let's try this out. Alright guys, so got a drink right here. Again, it is the Galaxy Grenade. It is watermelon, guava, and lime explosion. So, okay. Color is kind of grayish. Okay, but cheers. Not bad. I would say no. Like the flavors to come out a little bit more, but it's not bad. It's not bad. If you guys want to try out the samples shaker yourself or buy any of the products on Dubby, make sure to use my coupon code PowerJ at checkout to save 10% on your order. So again, that's PowerJ at checkout for 10% off your order. Now, back to the video. Alright, closing arguments. Alrighty. So, you set the lounge clock's alarm. Then we got who was in the lounge early in the morning. Well, we can put him there, right? Yep, there we go. What time did Fuyuhiko see Nekomaru? Can't do that. Nekomaru's weakness. Wire wrapped around Nekomaru's feet. Yeah, it has to be. Yeah, there we go. The killer destroyed what after leaving the tower? Was fake weapon left at the tower? The hammer. Then place this there. Just pretending that, you know, they were there the whole time. Let's see here. Okay, left the tower and not that. Destroyed what? No, that would be the button. Okay, so hamsters. Go. Is that 5:30? There we go. Okay, so no, not that one there. This is here. Okay, third stock. What else? Okay, so not the button there. Destroyed what? Okay, what? Nope. 'Cause that's there. Okay. So the weapon, killer left the weapon there to pretend that was the actual weapon. Destroyed what? Was fake weapon. That there. We heard the rumbling noise, so it was all of us there. Okay, the last stock. Okay, so what else is missing? Killer destroyed what after leaving the tower? Destroyed button. What else? Let's see here. Start at the very beginning. We set the alarm. Oh wait, no. Who set? Yeah, it should be that. I was about to say,
Here's
like,
everything
wait,
that
huh?
happened in this case.
I was supposed to show him.
Let's first go over the many tricks the killer prepared before they committed the crime. First, they destroyed the contact elevator. This separated Nagito and the others in Strawberry House from our group in Grape House. Next, they lured Nekomaru out by himself by turning back all the clocks in the funhouse by 2 hours. Additionally, in order to secure an alibi, the killer went to the Strawberry House lounge and set the wall clock's alarm to 5:30 a.m. After finishing their preparations, the killer went to Strawberry Tower with the necessary tools in hand. They obtained these tools from the Octagon, which you can enter once you clear the final dead room. This means the
Bruh.
killer discovered the secret of the funhouse faster than anybody else.
Bro, why does it look like a Sonic character?
That secret being, Strawberry House and Grape House are actually the same building. On the morning of the incident, Nekomaru woke up and headed over to Grape Tower for a specific reason. There, Fuyuhiko, who was at the lounge by coincidence, witnessed Nekomaru. According to Fuyuhiko's testimony, that was around 5 a.m., but by that point, the killer had already messed with our perception of time. In actuality, Fuyuhiko witnessed Nekomaru at 7 a.m. That's also the same time Monokuma Taichi begins. Nekomaru went to Grape Tower to participate in that. However, because the contact elevator was broken, Nekomaru was unable to go to Grape Tower. So he decided to try going to Strawberry Tower. But the killer was waiting for him there. With the power of hamsters, they were able to press the good night button on the back of Nekomaru's neck. This forced him to enter sleep mode, rendering him immobile. From there, the killer began preparing to use the ultimate weapon. First, they set the alarm in Nekomaru's chest to 7:30 a.m. so he'd wake up. Then they tied him up with a metal wire, tied the tip of the wire into a loop, and hung it on the doorknob. After leaving Strawberry Tower, the killer then destroyed the door button to Strawberry Hall. They did this to keep us from entering Strawberry Tower. And to keep us from discovering the secret of the building's structure that they used to kill Nekomaru. Then, they used the secret octagon passageway to travel to Grape House. After arriving at Grape Hall, they pressed the button to open the door to the tower. When that happened, the elevator-like floor of the tower began descending. And Nekomaru's body was still inside, dangling upside down in midair from the wire. The killer entered Grape Tower to see if their setup was successful. And placed a hammer on the floor to look like the weapon, then wrapped a chain around the back door. This was done to make us falsely believe we couldn't enter the tower from Strawberry Hall. With this, the killer finished their setup and tried to go back to their room using the secret passage, so they could craft their alibi when Nekomaru died from the fall. But something unexpected happened. Fuyuhiko, who saw Nekomaru earlier, was still at the lounge.
Technically, since he's blind on his right eye, he wouldn't have seen him. He could have slipped by if that was the way he was, positioned. Literally, he can't see out his right eye, so he can just, get away with it.
As a result, the killer couldn't return to their room, and with no options available, time ran out. The lounge's wall clock alarm started ringing at 5:30. Well, actually 7:30. To avoid a worst-case scenario, the killer was forced to appear in front of Fuyuhiko with the others. When the wall clock's alarm rang, that was also the same time Nekomaru was waking up. He woke up while he was still hanging upside down, so he couldn't help but sway his body powerfully. Originally, the loop of wire was only supposed to slip off the doorknob. But because there was a heavier load than expected, the doorknob ended up breaking. Nekomaru fell from the 4th floor all the way to the 1st floor. He crashed into the pillar, which decapitated him on impact, and died. The sound of Nekomaru's impact echoed throughout the funhouse. However, by this point, the killer's plan was about to fail, thanks to the broken doorknob and Fuyuhiko. Meaning, the killer is someone who wouldn't have heard the alarm if they were in the deluxe room. They also wouldn't have been able to return to their guest room, because Fuyuhiko was at the lounge. That someone is Gundam Tanaka. I can't think of anyone else but you.
Splendid. That was splendid. For a mere human, you did quite well.
Stop. Stop it already. Stop using weird words to avoid the truth. Or I'll friggin' kill you myself!
I cannot believe it. I just cannot believe. You killed Nekomaru? I cannot believe something like that.
Well, you kind of have to.
You don't wish to forgive me? Do you feel regret? Then finish it! Cast your impure votes for Gundam Tanaka! My beloved, deadly foes, let the voting time begin!
He doesn't feel bad about it at all. You know, others would you know, have at least something going on with them, but well, not Gundam. Alright, it's time left. Oh yeah, each phase. 17. Time 33 points. Missteps 46 points. I mean, I feel like that should have been an A at least. I think this is like a high B at least. Like 2 C's and a B. Does not make everything a B, you know. Oh well.
This result isn't all that exciting. Now then, please pull the lever in front of you and cast your vote. Who will be chosen as the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? Please pull the lever! Crap! I bit my tongue at the most important part!
Fucking succotash. But hey, look at that. Gundam Tanaka, guilty. Last trial will end.
It'd be bad if I bit my tongue again, so I'll speak slowly. Judging from the results, you guys were correct once again. Getting 4 in a row without any mistakes is a splendid achievement. That's right. The one who killed the robotic Nekomaru in the amazing funhouse was Gundam Tanaka.
Nice!
Yay! I say that without biting my tongue.
Now then.
Now that we decided who the killer is, let's do the execution already and get this over with. Hold on. It's true the class trial is finished, but that doesn't mean the incident is over. We can't finish yet until we hear from Gundam.
Jeez.
No matter what he says, it won't change a thing. Well, I have no right to stop you either, so do whatever you like.
Fall, my tears.
Why do you want to talk to one who has lost? The loser merely leaves. It would just be unnecessary for me to say something.
Listen well.
Is what I would like to say, but for honor's sake, I shall correct one thing. Correct?
How pitiful.
You guys said I made Nekomaru powerless without fighting him. That, however, is a great mistake. Huh?
Fine.
Nekomaru did fight. That is no mistake. And because he fought, he lost and died.
Damn it!
Lost and died?
This, too, must be the will of causality.
If he was just trying to cling to life, there are many ways he could have done so. However, he did not allow that.
You.
What do you mean? Explain. Fine then. I shall reveal it all.
Let's make history.
Within the final dead room, I discovered the secret of the funhouse. And I devised a killing plan, utilizing that secret. By tampering with all the clocks in the building, I succeeded in luring Nekomaru to the tower. And this is what happened. Nekomaru and I were alone in the tower, standing face to face with one another. I should say I expected as much from Nekomaru. He sensed my soul-killing intent and instantly understood the situation. And we had ourselves a stare-down. That situation, if he wanted to run away, it would have been easy for him to do so. He could have run away, or even called for help. But he did not turn his back to me. Instead, he chose to fight that risked life and death.
That is...
A fight that risked life and death?
Let me tell you this.
He was serious too. He gave it his all to try and kill me. If I had died instead, the mystery surrounding the case would have been even more complicated. You would never know why I, the victim, went to the tower by myself.
I can see it!
Nobody would know that the victim, me, was actually the one who planned the whole thing.
Could it be?
Nekomaru really did that?
Sensing even my subtle killing intent, as expected of you, Nekomaru.
The scorching, stinging, tense atmosphere. I've been a team manager for so long, I'd nearly forgotten this. This is great! What a comforting atmosphere!
That's a great line.
He's always able to like get out of character, just like, oh yeah, that's actually pretty good. Yeah, nice. I should use that.
And what is your reason? Do you intend to resolve this situation by killing me?
I am the Warlock, Gundam Tanaka. Heroes, Lords of Darkness, and even the gods themselves flee from me. I need not cling to any trivial reason. I'm simply going to kill you because your very existence is an annoyance.
You'll drench your soul with evil until the bitter end, huh? Splendid! In response to your spirit, I shall kill you with all of my might. I won't go easy on you. Don't even think about holding back. Don't waste your breath on cowardly tactics. Give me everything you got.
Cowardly tactics, and Gundam uses his hamsters to fight him. on a 5-on-1.
Nekomaru need die. Your blood will drench the foundation of my empire!
That is...
Why? Why did you fight? We are all friends. Why couldn't you stop this? Even both sides agreed. It was still wrong.
I will not argue. I have no intentions of forcing my values upon you.
Let me tell you
However,
this.
I must say this. What's the point of living if you're just waiting until you finally die?
You weakling!
There's nothing courageous about that. That is abandonment, a mere feeling of resignation.
Fall, my tears.
Ever since we were locked inside that building, everyone had been dominated by that feeling of abandonment. However, nothing is born from resignation. It is simply a reason to give up.
If you flinch, you will die!
Giving up on life, that is an insult to life itself.
Let me ask.
Have you fools heard of the term dog-eat-dog?
Cannibalism?
Fine.
In zoology, cannibalism is a commonly observed phenomenon. Many creatures at some point in their lifespans engage in cannibalism.
Listen well.
That is what it means to live. If you say killing is for the sake of living is evil, then what would you call giving up on life itself?
I shall engulf this world.
If a world would consider that justice, then I will fight that world with every last fiber of my being. Giving up on life and choosing death, nothing is but blasphemy towards life.
I renounce you!
It is a violation of natural order. It is the arrogance of humanity.
You.
Are you saying all that? Are you saying all that to try to justify what you did?
But
But it sounds like Nekomaru felt the same too. That's why they fought, right?
Damn it.
Fine.
That man had the courage to die when he needed to die. That is why he challenged me to our battle. Regardless, I've said, as I've already said, I do not intend to force my value upon you fools. I have betrayed you all. That is the absolute truth.
Fall, my tears.
But even so, don't you think it's a better alternative to slowly starving to death here?
Oh.
That belief is why you committed your crime.
You...
Hey, what about the final dead room? Did you do the Russian roulette too?
Let's make history.
Unlike Nagito, I only did it once, but compared to my battle with Nekomaru, that was mere child's play.
Well?
You know, after listening to you talk for a while, I'm starting to think that, well, it's also because you unexpectedly admitted your crime without much resistance. Gundam, don't tell me you didn't sacrifice yourself for our sake, did you?
I can't believe you would ask such a foolish question.
My name is Gundam Tanaka.
Just who do you think I am? I am Gundam Tanaka, history's greatest monster. My cursed existence is feared by all mankind. There's no way I sacrifice myself for the sake of you fools.
Fade like dust in the wind.
Not in a million, not in a billion, not in 10,000 billion years. In the name of pandemonium, it is impossible.
Is that it? Then I'll leave it at that.
Now then, let us be rid of this foolish talk. It's about time the fun started. Monokuma, let us begin.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, got it. I have prepared a special punishment for the ultimate breeder, Gundam Tanaka.
Please wait!
This is just too much.
I beg of you!
Please, Monokuma, please help Gundam.
Huh?
Miss Sonia.
I beg of you!
How pitiful.
Sonia. An act as unrefined as stopping a man from going to his death does not benefit nobles such as yourself.
Gundam. Is it fine? It's fine, sir, for reals, right?
Fine.
Yes, I do not mind. However,
What is it, my four dark devas of destruction? Are you worried about me? Oh, my feared four dark devas of destruction. That is not like you at all. However, there is no need to fear. In this world, I am only a temporary visitor.
you know, I think this is like literally like, I'm not sure this is the only time this this model is used, but I feel like it appears very few, or like it rarely is seen throughout the entire game.
I was simply visiting for a moment, and now that my duty is complete, I must return to the darkness. That is why, until the very end. Pride, conceit, courage, insolence, fearful of nothing,
Daunted by nothing. Let us laugh uproariously.
That is
Gundam Tanaka. I shall stick with my evil until the very end.
Open
Sesame
sesame
pandemonium. I shall fill hell with the true hell. Oh man. You know he has to die. Like he gives like such an awesome energy. Like that's why I love that. That's what I love about him. Like Gundam and Akuma gives like two different energies. like he has the crazy energy, while like Nekomura has the hype energy. I'm more towards Gundam's like crazy energy.
Let's give it everything we got.
It's punishment time!
Oh boy, here we go. I'm a Snuka, the ultimate breeder. Oh. Really cares about his hamsters. If he's going out on his terms. Or he wanted to. Aw. If I'm remembering right, those were all the animals he took care of. Aw. Damn, what heaven he goes.
Gundam. No. No!
Even after Gundam is gone, the spirit of his parting words still linger deep in our chest. Don't give up on life. Did I? misunderstand what he meant, then what's the right thing to do? I don't know. No matter how much I think about it, I don't know if I'll ever be able to answer that.
Damn it.
Damn it! I'm so pissed off. I need to throw something.
Damn it!
You all spend so much time worrying about each other. Thanks to that, things end up like this. You're all full of shit. Every last one of you. Even the biggest pile of shit is me.
The worst.
Damn it. Why am I so weak?
Oh.
It's such a downer. Clearly. But still. Even though we feel this way, we still gotta do our very best.
You are right.
This time around, we must move forward. We must continue to live and believe in our friends. If not,
You are right.
Gundam will most likely crawl his way out of hell, and I presume he will be very cross with us. You're right. You're right. We shouldn't just stand here. I mean, it's not like this is over. We still have to do it. We still have to finish this. For the sake of our friends who have died, we need to finish this once and for all. So, don't just stand there. Stand up and walk. Move forward. Live. If you don't, everyone who fought and died will have died in vain. We can't allow that.
Hey!
So, how long are you guys gonna stand around chattering? Last trial's over, so it's okay for you to hurry up back over to Jabberwock Island. However, the killing school trip will proceed just as usual, so make sure you know that.
Wait!
Hold on! How much longer are you gonna keep this up? Keep doing this. Whatever. Seriously, how long is he going to keep doing this? How long is this going to continue?
Now then.
Alright, after being down for so long, I finally feel refreshed. Let's hurry up. Let's hurry back and eat some food.
Hey!
Hold on a second. That mood shift is too damn fast.
It's not like that.
Well, you know, it's like Gundam Nekomaru said. That's the way it means to live, right? Aww. She still has the tears going through.
Huh.
She's clearly something else. But seriously, I'm starving.
Hey.
Then let's go back for now and eat. After we're full, let's sleep as much as we want.
Right?
Then, let's do our best again. Yeah, you're right. With this, the class trial has come to an end. Once again, we return to Jabberwock Island. Oh man, just gotta stand up and live. Size of our group has definitely diminished. But despite that, even if it was just the rest of us, we did our best to stay upbeat and have fun together. Of course, our optimism was only superficial. At that moment, we were able to forget about the dark despair looming over us. However, the only thing I was worried about was him. He wasn't there. He suddenly disappeared from our sight. Talking about Nagito? Yep. Yep. I'm definitely lucky. I never expected to obtain so many valuable things from a simple game of Russian roulette. Thanks to that,
I was able to learn the identity of our true enemy. And before everyone else, too. But it's just too funny. I mean, no one could tell that I was lying. There's no way the file had just Hajime's information.
Well,
I guess they were too busy with the other matters. Or maybe they just reached their limit. Regardless, I was saved. Things would have been complicated if they found out. Anyway, I can't forgive this.
damn it.
This should never be forgiven. There's no way I can let this run loose. I'll be the one who stops this once and for all. Even if it costs me my life.
It's obvious.
For the sake of hope, I cannot ignore this.
Monokuma appears!
You know, gonna say like, what do you mean you can't ignore this? I mean, you totally can.
All right, Monokuma has arrived. So, who summoned me?
Now then.
Thanks for coming. You're meeting up, huh?
What's this?
Why, it's a lonely little Nagito. Are you all alone tonight, too?
What's the matter?
So what's up? Your face looks scary.
I see. So you can tell.
Ah, perhaps you found out who the traitor is.
You know me well.
Well,
Is what I like to say, but unfortunately, I haven't learned that yet.
I see. So even you don't know, huh? Looks like the final showdown's gonna take a little more time.
Hello.
So why did you summon me anyway? Were you finally gonna confess your love?
hey,
I summoned you because there's something I really need to ask you. It's about the special prize from the final dead room.
Oh yeah. What about it?
There was information about 16 people in the file I received. But isn't that weird?
Say what?
What's weird?
you don't even know?
Well, there's a traitor from the Future Foundation hidden among us, right? Including that person, the total number of students would be 16, right?
Isn't that right?
But this file contains documents that were created at Hotspeed Academy, right?
Of course.
That's right. I just reused the stuff from the former headmaster spent a lot of time making.
But
If this file even contains information about the traitor, was that person also a former student of Hotspeed Academy?
Who knows?
I wonder.
hey,
Could it be? Is this your doing? Did you slip false information to the file? Were you trying to keep us from learning the traitor's identity by obtaining this information? No, going silent, huh?
What's wrong with that?
Oh, so he did give us false information, or at least give Nagito.
If it's my job to heat things up, it's okay if I do something small like that, right?
well,
That's not my point.
right?
My point is, you already know who the traitor is.
What's wrong with that?
So why is he playing games, huh? If you already know who the traitor is, just get him out, right?
You're getting all riled up.
Well, you're splendidly correct when you say, I knew who the traitor was all along. Even though I know who it is, why do you think I would ignore it on purpose? It's just like Monami losing her magic stick. The traitor's existence means absolutely nothing to me.
Their existence means nothing, huh?
No.
Well, that's just how I feel. I'm sure you guys feel somewhat different. After all, that person is the evil Future Foundation lackey who's putting you guys through this awful stuff.
That's not entirely true. I didn't really come here to fight or anything like that. Instead, I came here to offer my cooperation, you know?
Huh?
Cooperation?
Hey,
Your purpose is to fill everyone on this island with the spirit, right? That's why you're intentionally letting the traitor do as they please, right?
Yep.
If that's the case, I might be able to cooperate somewhat too. Naito and Monikuma working together, huh? Fantastic! Gotta love that. Character that we've been hating this entire game, working with a villain,
right?
However, in exchange, I want to know who the traitor is.
I see. Very interesting. Very interesting.
No.
Obviously, that's a big no-no.
Unbelievable.
I want to make everyone in your group feel despair. That includes you, too.
Well, I knew you'd say that.
Besides, I just wouldn't be able to handle the sadness when you inevitably betray me later on.
Just as I thought, you saw right through me.
You're right.
No matter what the situation I find myself in, my core way of thinking will never change. In order to create absolute hope that shines brightly, except ladders such as myself and despair exists.
You're right. You're a true believer of hope, after all. I must say, that belief reminds me of that person for some reason.
Huh?
Reminds you? Did it sound like me a little bit, but less raspier? I don't know who you're talking about, but if someone as worthless as me reminds you of some other person, they must be extremely unlucky.
Like...
But you're just as unlucky, right? I mean, the fact that you're even involved in something like this.
Wow.
Am I? I actually think I'm very lucky.
Say what?
Huh?
You don't know?
Wouldn't you say something that coming across this much despair is a rather rare opportunity? I can't rely on anyone on this island. That's why I had to be the one who does it. If I can eliminate despair from this island, I won't be a stepladder anymore. I'll become true hope. I'll be an existence that can be called ultimate hope.
the two of you are alike. You definitely remind me of him.
Hey, there's just one more thing I want to ask you.
See?
Who are you waiting for on this island? Looks like I'm right again. You're definitely waiting for someone on this island. Is it the person you're waiting for already on this island?
Hey.
Well, answer my question.
That's...
If that's the case, if that person is already on this island, wouldn't that be exciting?
Oh boy. Clock keeps ticking and clock keeps ticking. 5 days left. So we're getting into the end game here. Chapter 4, The Ultimate Robot's Dream of Clockwork, and down to 7. Oh boy. And the Hellhound Earring. So yeah, we're gonna save here. And I think we're just gonna call it here because, I mean, by the time we continue through here, it's just gonna be a bit over time. So yeah, I think this entire session is just gonna be one episode just for the the trial. So yeah, a big episode for you guys. Over 2 hours long. Yay! I hope you guys enjoy that. Man, so Nagito cooperating with the Monokuma just to try to find out that person who is part of the Fusion Foundation, huh? And trying to become the ultimate hope. Oh, he's already the ultimate lucky soon. Why not become the ultimate hope? Really similar to Hajime, kind of, but more despair focused, kind of. But yeah, what's gonna be happening in this upcoming chapter? Will they actually, you know, find the traitor? Will traitor survive? Will that person that Monokuma is waiting for actually arrive? Or are they actually still on the islands here? Who knows? But we're just gonna find out as we continue on next time. So thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share with all your friends. Check out links in the description below for all my social media links. And if you want to pick up this game for yourself, Amazon links will be down in the description below. And I'll see you guys soon with my next video. Power out. Yeah.